Bulletcast for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I am in my estate in the Hayward Hills in Hayward, California. I'm the Podfather. I'm the current Bulletcast heavyweight champion. And just like Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, baby, that championship reign is forever undisputed. And I am joined on the line by a man who dislikes you if you're from Toronto, Ontario, or Saskatchewan, or anywhere in between. I got the first ever Bulletcast champion on the line. I have the Canadian Destroyer. How's it going there, guy?
It's going great. I'm at my house, so, still in my pajamas, because it's Friday and I have nothing else better to do, except for this podcast.
Oh, of course. This illustrious podcast, We got the Bulletcast. We have the Under the Radar show, which I hear people, they really enjoy.
I put a lot of time and energy into that thing.
Yes, you do some good work covering Total Divas and Total Bellas.
Everybody needs to hear my Total Divas recap. I'm a little slacking. I haven't seen the latest episode yet, but
it's okay, man.
I've seen NXT already. I need to watch Mania Classic, and I'll be caught up and all. Recap on Tuesday.
NXT was amazing. That match was really good with Dunn, Cole, and Ricochet. The match was amazing. I loved it. Alright, guys, let's jump into it. Outside of the ring. So, Rey Mysterio, the master of the 619, returns at Smackdown 1000 next Tuesday to face Shinsuke Nakamura, the current United States champion, and the winner advances into the WWE World Cup tournament at Crown Jewel in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and whoever wins this match, that they get put into this Best of the World tournament. Thoughts on it?
So, we all know Rey Mysterio was coming back, and I thought, okay, maybe he'll come back and he'll be like a surprise appearance for Smackdown 1000. But no, he's being advertised, which I guess WWE needs all the ratings help they can get. And it's a sort of dream match. Rey Mysterio continues doing his New Japan run of dream matches, I guess, by going up against Shinsuke Nakamura. It should be fun. I wouldn't expect it to be a great barn burner like maybe it could be. But I think Rey Mysterio is going to be motivated to come out and show that he's different. He's not broken down like he was last time. Shinsuke hasn't been on TV in God knows how long, except for the Ty Dillinger thing a couple weeks ago. But, it's the World Cup for the Saudi Arabia show. And, if you want to just jump right into it and talk about the Saudi Arabia show and all the things going on in Saudi Arabia right now, it's craziness, and honestly, I'm going to have some mixed emotions if I end up watching the Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah, WWE, they got, a 10-year deal with Saudi Arabia, so they can't really back out now, so it's,
Yes, they can. Philip, do you even know what I'm talking about?
Honestly, I have not paid attention to what's going on in Saudi Arabia as of late. I'm up here watching CNN as we speak, and we're talking about the Donald and Kanye and all this other stuff with the Supreme Court. So what are you talking about?
So there was a Turkish man who has written for the Washington Post, and he's a United States citizen. He went into the Saudi Arabia consulate to get a divorce from his wife because he wanted to remarry, and he never came out. And there's speculation that he was killed, possibly, chopped up into pieces. I'm sorry for if y'all people can't handle that stuff, but this is real life, and I know nothing is confirmed yet, but there is strong allegations and evidence that the Saudi Arabian government has murdered this man because he was critical of the Saudi Arabia regime.
Jesus.
And with WWE going back, and we've seen it last time, it's one thing to take blood money from them, but then when you go there and you give us this propaganda piece about how Saudi Arabia is this wonderful country and they're doing change, even though they're living 700 years in the past where women can't do anything except without a man's permission. They barely were able to drive. They apparently, in their courts, 2 women equals 1 man. It's Saudi Arabia, like, get your stuff together. I know it's asking a lot. In WWE, just because you're getting a bunch of money doesn't mean you need to go over there.
Yeah.
You can say, okay, this is where we draw the line. We're not coming. Take your money, and we're gonna do business somewhere else.
Well, I mean, so I didn't know all that was going on. I know like the whole thing with the women or whatever. I didn't hear about this Turkish man. I pray for his family and all that other stuff. But with WWE and this crown jewel thing, I say they do the crown jewel one, and then if they have real morals and ethics,
if they had real morals and ethics, they wouldn't do the show.
I mean, yes, absolutely, but they wouldn't. I don't know. We'll see. It's when are we, like, October? What's today's date? October 12th. Crown Jewels on the 2nd of November. I mean, there's enough time to back out.
They said they are monitoring the situation. That was their official statement, and we're waiting. If there's concrete, there's already enough evidence that would suspect that Saudi Arabia did this. But if there's if the evidence comes out and it shows okay, yeah, they did this, I think WWE. Right now there's much bigger things in the world of the news to cover than WWE going to Saudi Arabia. But I feel like once the dust settles and stuff, comes out, I think people are going to start getting on WWE for doing the show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know exactly what's set in stone as far as this crown jewel thing, but they most likely are probably going to go ahead with crown jewel. And then, as far as any other events in Saudi Arabia, I'm not exactly sure.
And just even from a moral, not even from a moral standpoint, just as a fan standpoint, with all these big stadium shows, it's really just been taken away from the product in general. Because I said it on Under the Radar that these stadium shows are just glorified house shows. They're putting all this time and energy into the actual Raw and Smackdown shows, but then when it comes to the matches and the finishes, nothing really happens. Except for maybe one or two matches.
We can get into that when we talk Super Showdown, but I know they moved the Crown Jewel event to a 20,000 arena, a 25,000 seat arena, rather than a 70,000 stadium. So yeah, we can see with that. Moving on, Kevin Owens, he has suffered a knee injury, and he is expected to miss 4 to 8 months of action. So the whole thing that happened with him and Bobby Lashley on Raw, I guess that was a nice way to write him off TV.
I heard about the injury. I didn't hear that it was severe enough for him to be out 4 to 8 months. So, obviously that sucks. It's kind of a coincidence that it kind of coincides with Sami Zayn's injury. 4 to 8 months. For Sami Zayn, the earliest he can come back is maybe the Royal Rumble. For 4 to 8 months for Kevin Owens, it looks like he's probably missing WrestleMania, which sucks.
Yeah. KO, he get the surgery, rehab, have some time off, heal his body, come back as a babyface. And so everything happens for a reason. Time off is probably the best case for a wrestler who... KO, he still gets a pop when he does, great moves, a stunner or whatever, but he hasn't really been the Kevin Owens of old. We thought he was going to be the prize fighter. They gave up, with that after a week. He went back to doing comedy stuff. He was paired with Elias, so, time off will be good for him.
Well, we thought time off was going to be good for Dean Ambrose, and he comes back, and he's Roman's little buddy, and yes, he's, the main piece of a storyline right now, but I just don't feel like he's a bigger deal than he should be.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into all that stuff. All right, also, Pete Dunne is injured. He was pulled from a house show. And you covered this on your Under the Radar podcast. Where exactly was this show?
I don't exactly know where it was, but it was, some indie show over in the UK, and they posted on Facebook saying that it was due to a severe injury, and WWE will release news about it shortly. They took that down, put up another one, taking out the part about WWE saying something and a severe part of the injury. So, I don't even know if they put the injury part in it, but it definitely looks like something happened to Pete Dunne. Don't know when and where. And as I speculated, like this puts him at NXT War Games up in jeopardy. And luckily, the WWE UK brand, which we will talk about, they have shows in the can already, so he is not needed for that show right now. But if it's a severe injury like Kevin Owens' injury, obviously he's going to have to drop the title.
Yes. It's going to be interesting. He's been champion for, like 507 or 8 days at the time of this recording. So he's currently, like, the longest reigning champion of the modern era for WWE. So congrats on that. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy Pete Dunne. Hopefully the injury isn't that severe. I want to see him on these takeovers and NXT UK because, like you just said, they got shows in the can. But I want to see him at, like, more live events. Probably put him on, like, one of these big specials that they're doing on the network now.
Yeah, I think Pete Dunne is definitely one of those guys on NXT that can make it big if he gets the right opportunity, like him, Adam Cole, Ricochet, Johnny Gargano. If Vince doesn't mess it up, which is a very, very hefty thing to put on him because we all know he's going to mess it up, I think Pete's one of those guys that can carry WWE for the next 10 to 15 years, especially for how young he is.
Yes. Pete Dunne is great. I love his moveset. And I especially love his moveset in WWE 2K19, which brings us to our next one. The newest WWE video game is out, ladies and gentlemen. It has probably the greatest roster ever assembled for a video game. It has the current stars like Dunn, all of the Undisputed Era. You got Styles, you got Rollins, Ambrose, Reigns, Lesnar, Strowman. You got guys of the past. You got your Flairs. You got who else? Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. You got all these guys. I have it. It's a really nice game.
Okay, I don't have it. I haven't played a WWE video game in, I don't know, 2-3 years. So I'm more of a SmackDown versus Raw type of guy. I had like all the next gen games up until 2016, 2K16 or something like that. And I don't know, they just felt so repetitive. I just stopped buying them. Except unless if they had like a really good box set, which the Ric Flair one looked really nice, but the last one I got was the Finn Balor one, or the NXT one, where it had like a Finn Balor standee and a Nakamura signed picture, which was very nice.
No, I mean I'm a SmackDown versus Raw guy. Don't get me wrong. I love those games. I had all of them, but this one, the movements are so more realistic. It's not repetitive. The commentary is a lot better. It's good stuff. All right, moving on from that, WWE UK premieres October 17th, which is next Wednesday on the WWE Network. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see these guys and girls.
Yeah, probably one more thing I'm going to have to watch and put on my show because, I have to watch everything. I have fallen behind on New Japan. I haven't seen the Fighting Spirit show. I haven't seen the, King of Pro Wrestling show. I am just a terrible fan.
It's okay, man. I watched NXT for like the first time on like a weekly basis since like Nia Jax made her debut 3 years ago, so it's okay, man. We're in this together. All right, last up on the outside of the
High School Musical.
What? Oh,
we're all in this together. High School Musical and my girl Vanessa Hudgens.
Shout out Vanessa Hudgens. She's nice. All right. So Ford, the Ford company, and then the truck Ford F-150. Apparently, they've been stealing WWE catchphrases. So I was listening to a podcast, and somebody DM'd my boy Brian Campbell about this. And actually, no, it was Peter Rosenberg. I'm sorry, DM'd Peter Rosenberg about this. How they say Ford says like we don't set the bar, we are the bar, and how the F-150 is the big dog. What's up with Ford, man?
Yeah, I knew about the bar commercial for a long time because it seems like it's always on like every football show, every football game I watch, and like all the different sports stuff. So I've known about the bar one for a while, and I've always wondered that's like a very specific catchphrase, and I feel like Sheamus and Cesaro have had that before. I saw it on Ford, so I don't know about the big dog one. That's also that's a dumb catchphrase to begin with, but it is what it is. Is WWE going to go after Ford for copyright infringement or trademarks?
Cease and desist. All right. Inside of the ring, let's hit this.
You skipped something, Philip. This was my this would have been my go-to topic right here. You said Habib Nurmagomedov might go to WWE.
Oh my God! How could I forget? How could I forget that? I looked over it. I'm sorry. Yes. What's his name? Habib or Khabib?
It's Habib.
Habib. Yes, he just defeated Conor McGregor.
What's his last name?
You just said it.
Yeah, I did say it, but I want to hear you say it.
So Habib, he put on Twitter at WWE asked me to jump inside. What do you guys think? Hashtag Smash Lesnar. Hashtag Fake Fights. So what are your thoughts on this guy potentially going to WWE if that was the case?
I think you see him in his post where it says hashtag Fake Fights. I don't think he has any intentions of actually going to WWE and doing something. I think it's just him pulling a publicity stunt. He's not the most. I mean, he's not the most charismatic person in the world.
I mean,
I've seen people go from MMA to WWE, and Ronda Rousey's done great. Shayna Baszler is probably better than Ronda Rousey, but I mean, we've seen other people on the Mae Young Classic. There's the Conti girl, the Brazilian judo person, and she has not translated at all to it. So I don't think Habib would be a good fit in WWE. Yes, it would be good for them if they wanted to pull a publicity stunt if UFC actually does fire him or whatever the hell goes on in this whole situation. But if it was me, I'd much rather want Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is the hottest thing in combat sports. He can talk. Yes, he's small compared to wrestlers. He's probably AJ Styles is honestly probably bigger than Conor McGregor.
I believe it.
So I think it's just publicity and it's BS. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean that dude. What after his fight, he hopped out the cage and did a coup de grace into people in the front row. That's the most pro wrestling thing I've ever seen in whatchamacallit, UFC. So I don't know. I don't know really anything about this guy, so I'm not sure would he be a good fit or not. I'll take your word for it though. All right, let's go into Inside of the Ring real quick. What were your thoughts on Super Showdown for the fans who haven't heard your Under the Radar podcast?
It was 4 hours. Luckily I did not watch all 4 hours. I only watched about 2 hours of it, but it was basically a glorified house show. Most of the matches went about 10 minutes. The only matches worth seeing is probably the AJ Styles Samoa Joe match and the Cruiserweight Championship match. All the other matches were filler, and I don't really care about them. Especially the Triple H Undertaker match where you have Daniel Bryan and Miz going 2 minutes, and yet you have these old guys going almost a half hour. 50 minutes in total with entrances and the shenanigans that happened afterwards. I don't know who to put the blame on, if you put the blame on Triple H and Undertaker or just Triple H for why the match went so long, but y'all need to know your limitations. Triple H is in his late 40s, Undertaker's in his 50s and has looked, worse than he's ever been. And you want to go out there and have a 30-minute walk and brawl with all the gimmicks of no disqualification. And Shawn Michaels taking more bumps than both the guys combined, probably. It was not the best show. I mean, in total, it was kind of enjoyable because all the in-ring action was fine. But in the grand scheme of things, as I said earlier, it doesn't really make any difference on the TV shows because it was just blah finishes and matches that don't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, I watched this live. I was one of very few people who actually probably did that. Super Showdown, I mean, it was better than what I thought it was going to be. Was it a glorified house show? Yes, sure. You have Cena return. Nice haircut, by the way, in the sixth move of Doom. We got to see.
Which looked stupid.
Hey, the sixth move of Doom, I don't know, bro. I called it the Lightning Fist. I think he was on Jimmy Fallon last night, and I think he was talking about it, so that was interesting. The Cruiserweight title match, that was awesome when Buddy Murphy kicked out of the lumbar check. I was like, oh my god, this match is amazing. I loved it. The Styles match was really cool. The fact that the number one contendership match went on after the world title match pisses me off. It still pisses me off that the world championship does not main event shows. Taker and Hunter, the no disqualification match hid Taker's limitations. Hunter, we've seen him have pretty good matches as of the last couple years. That match with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30 was really good, so I loved that. So I mean, Hunter on his aspect, he can still go a little bit. Taker.
That was 4 years ago, Philip.
I'm saying, but Hunter can still go. Like when
was his last great match? Was it that Dana Bryan match? Because I really enjoyed the Sting match at WrestleMania 31, but that was basically the same thing as this match with only more flashy gimmicks with NWO and DX coming out.
let me think. The Rousey one this year was pretty chill. It was all right.
That wasn't him. That was Ronda being amazing.
Okay. The Seth one was nice. That was nice.
I don't even remember that match, to be honest.
Wow. No, but Super Showdown overall, I didn't even do a recap for it. I'll give it a C. It was okay, you know. But moving on from that, we got to talk some Chris Jericho. He returned for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He attacked Evil. He was one of the his druids or whatever. So I guess they're setting up Evil versus Jericho for their Intercontinental title at what show is this coming up?
I don't have it in front of me, but it's in early November.
Yeah. So I mean that's cool. Jericho's first title defense. Obviously the title's not going to change. I don't think so. But cool to see Jericho back. You know.
Yeah, I mean they set this up after he won it against Naito. Evil came out and they did a little something. So we assumed it was going to be them two the next time. So it makes sense. I speculated on Under the Radar where Jericho's going to be for Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe he fights Naito again. Maybe somebody else. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Also, that happened during this night. My boy Jay White joins the BCOGs.
Mm-hmm.
Shout
It's
out!
a new T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Shout out to my boy Jay White. You know, I really enjoyed him at that show at the Cow Palace when he lost his U.S. title to Juice Robinson. I'm proud of Jay White, man. I enjoyed, and they tied in with Finn Balor introducing Jay White to like NJPW and to the Tongans or whatever. So it's pretty cool, man. All right, moving on from that, I actually watched 205 Live like the first time since I was there when they were here in Oakland, and oh my God, my boy Mike Kanellis debuted on 205 Live. The music hit while Lince Dorado was going up against Leo Rush, the man of the hour. The music hit, Maria makes her way onto the stage. I'm like, oh my God, wait, what? And then Kanellis shows up, beats up Lince Dorado. I loved every minute of it.
I have not watched this because I have not seen an episode of 205 Live except for the one I was at, which was in Oakland, which was at this point last year.
Yes. No, but I love it, man. You know, Mike Kanellis, I mean, like, they've had some setbacks with his addiction. Maria getting pregnant, and then she was trying to come back, and she injured her foot or something. So, you know, like, him just being in the back and catering, now he's on 205 Live. He has a prominent spot. I think I'm going to be watching the show weekly now. I'm excited. Him versus Buddy Murphy would be a really nice match.
Yeah, I'm making no promises of me watching 205 Live when I have not seen New Japan yet. So I'm not making that promise, but
it's okay, man.
Good for Mike Bennett or Mike Kanellis, whatever the hell his name is.
Yes.
I mean, good for him that he's having work. It's on 205 Live, which isn't the best spot in the world, but it's probably better than being a job guy on Smackdown or Raw.
This is very true. All right, this day in wrestling, let's hit it. So, Bret Hart wins the WWE Championship on this day in 1992 at a house show. I forgot the guy that he beat for it. Moving on from that, The Wrestler, the movie with Mickey Rourke, had its U.S. release on this day in 2008, and also Melina. She returns to the WWE and wins the Divas Championship in 2009 on this day. So, shout out to her. Any comments on any of these?
I love Melina, and she better be back for Evolution.
Oh my God, yes. We all love Melina here. Alright guys, we got some fan mail. So, Raider Nation 94545. Bullet Club
suck this year.
I thought
that's coming from a Raider fan. We suck.
It's okay, man. Alright.
Anyways.
Yes. Bullet Club slowly becoming NWO version 2, two factions, and it's not the same BC as it was before. Opinions on what lies for this unit?
Bullet Club is fine.
Bullet Club is fine? Both Bullet Clubs are fine?
I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see what their contracts contract situation is with those guys, but I mean, I can see the similarities of having the two separate factions inside the faction, but I mean, with the OGs, they were always kind of the redheaded stepchild. They were always kind of on the outside, so I guess it's fine for them to kind of break off and have their own thing. I think Jay White being the leader of that definitely helps the group in prestige because he's one of the top heels. Maybe not New Japan, but kind of like in the U.S. New Japan run, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna say it's Bullet Club's sinking ship right now, but talk to me in 6 months and half the group is left, then maybe that's a different story.
Yes, it's looking okay for both BCs. All right, Jimmy the Human writes us. What do you guys think about the Bella Twins turning heel? We expected it. I can say it's the Bella Twins. It's what they do. They're the bullies. They're the bad girls. You know, they're the queen bees. It's whatever.
Jimmy the Human, not to be confused with Jimmy the Dog, who constantly writes into to the podcast.
There's a Jimmy the Dog that writes into this podcast.
I don't know, making a dumb joke. Anyways, the Bullet Club, Bullet Cast, Bella Twins. I don't know, too many bees going on here. I mean, yeah, we basically talked about it for weeks, waiting for this thing to happen, and it finally happened.
Yes, that's all we can say. All right, we got 3 more. Mr. Toledo writes us, is WWE bastardizing the aura of WrestleMania with big stadium shows?
I believe so, because, like, WrestleMania was the one time a year that we get this bigger-than-life spectacle, and now we're even getting it for Royal Rumble. Now they're going to go to Chase Field in Arizona, so now we're getting K-Dog, shut up!
Oh my goodness, he's yelling at a K9.
And I want Skype, so I don't know how to mute it. But anyways, I feel like they are ruining the prestige of WrestleMania because they have all these different stadium shows. And yeah, they're doing it at the end of the year, not right next to WrestleMania, so it kind of maybe spaces it out a little bit. But I do feel like the WrestleMania aspect, I think maybe not the arena aspect of it that messes up with WrestleMania. I think it's the star aspect of it because you have all these big names coming back, and like the knock on WrestleMania the past couple of years, or however many years it's been now, like they bring back all the Attitude Era stars for WrestleMania, but now they're bringing back all the Attitude Era stars for Saudi Arabia shows in Australia. So now, if you bring them back, you have to actually like have a good storyline and something that makes people want to watch the show, not just Shawn Michaels is going to come back for the first time in whatever. I have to watch the show. No, Shawn Michaels has been around for 6 months now. He's had like 3 or 4 matches. We want to see him face Dana Bryan or AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, WrestleMania, it's the be-all, end-all, showcase of the mortals, all those tags that they feed you. But, I mean, like, big stadium shows in other countries and on other continents, is that cool? Yeah, sure, but send a WrestleMania over there, or if you don't want to do that, get a smaller venue for a big show and send, like, a SummerSlam or a Royal Rumble over there or something, Like, don't bastardize the aura of the biggest show in wrestling for all this money,
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, moving on from that. Hootie Hoo 420. I love this name. If you could interview only one name from the wrestling world, past or present, who would it be?
Can you run that back one more time?
If you could, it's a 2-parter. So the first part is, if you could only interview one name from the wrestling world, past or present, who would it be?
Okay. If I could interview anybody, you go first.
Vince. That's simple. Like, if I can get like at least even an hour with Vince McMahon, just sit down and.
It has to be like truth serum interview.
Yeah, like just.
Because Vince is not going to tell you everything you want to know.
I mean,
if it's like any truth serum interview, then yes, Vince is probably at the top of the list for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's never really done a super in-depth, real interview before, but that's why we're waiting for his autobiography to come out. That might never happen.
Yeah, I mean, I have all these questions. I'd love to interview. That Vince is probably at the top of the list.
So if it's anybody, maybe nowadays there's been so many podcasts that it's kind of hard to do like a current person because we've kind of heard everybody. So I'm kind of like trying to go back in time and be like someone who maybe Bruiser Brody. I think if we were able to get like a Bruiser Brody alive today and he's like still sticks to his gimmick and he doesn't talk to anybody, especially if whatever might have happened throughout his career, I think he would have been a great interviewer. Even just, you know, the stories from Japan and all the other stuff that he actually did do. I think Bruiser Brody getting an in-depth interview would be a lot of fun.
Wow, that's a really good one, man. All right, and then the second part of his DM is, what's one name that you think you'll interview in the near or somewhat near future?
Well, that's above my pay grade. I just carry the camera
Ah,
around.
I'll throw out the name. I think we can get Cody Rhodes. I honestly do. You know, I had questions lined up for him when he was coming to APW, but all those questions have changed now. You know, All In's happened. He's the NWA champ. I I feel like a Cody Rhodes interview could get us on the right track to building this brand a little bit more.
And you would maybe get a cease and desist from them because you just totally ripped off their name.
Well, hold on. Wait a second. I don't think all that would happen. You know.
I mean, you know, there are a lot of Impact wrestlers that are coming to this local show called BTW. I think
Whoa.
Maybe we could, like, possibly get an interview with some of them, but I just don't think that's going to happen. It might fall through, you know, politics and stuff like that. We're definitely never going to get an interview with Reno Scott.
Oh. Well, bro, are we out to that APW show in November?
I don't know. I mean, I might have to bring some brass knucks or something.
I don't think all that's gonna happen. All right, our last one is from the Promo Kid 205. Oh wow, that's interesting. Hey, oh wow, This isn't really a question. I'll read it to you. Hey, just wanted to say that I like how you guys don't just talk wrestling and that it's you guys trying to be different with championships and other stuff like that. I think it's a rad feel, and I feel like we can connect with you guys. Keep up the good fit, boys. I think he was trying to say fight.
Oh, he likes us. He really likes us.
Well, you see, that's what the Bullet Cast is about, man. You know, we don't just sit here and talk wrestling. We try to be different. That's why I brought the championship into the picture. That's why we do all these other bonus things. You know that it's for recognition like this, man. You know, thank you. That means a lot to me, man.
I mean, if you guys really like us, we'll open up a Patreon or a GoFundMe, and you guys can just, you know, shovel us with money.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's about. This podcast is for wrestling fans by wrestling fans. That's what it's always been about. All right, let's jump into Monday Night Raw. Let's hit this. Let's run through it. So, Bayley and Finn Balor defeat Mahalisha. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
I mean, what they're doing with Finn and Bayley right now is it doesn't piss me off, but it's just like really they're just going back and forth with this like awkward friendship / lover connection that they have, and it's just like they're not getting dropped out a lot. I mean, I don't know exactly what they're doing mixed match challenge. I assume they're not going to win, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I saw this thing on Instagram this morning, and it was like it had all these wrestlers on the current roster listed, and it was like if you could change any of these NXT call-ups, who would it be? And you had like 3 picks, and I was like, oh, Finn's like number 1, then Bayley or whatever. So I feel bad for him. Hopefully they get back to a prominent spot on the main roster.
Honestly, I think Kevin Owens is probably my number 1 pick because I feel like Kevin Owens could be a top heel or a top babyface, whichever way you go if you built him the right way. True.
All right, Lashley and KO. We just talked about this, so we can skip over that.
What are you talking about? Bobby Lashley turned heel finally. Maybe he's gonna actually show some charisma. And, you know, I'm still kind of on the Lashley bandwagon, and hopefully now it's gonna start getting a little fuller.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've always liked.
It's gonna look more like an SF Muni bus than an AC Transit bus. That's a local reference for you.
I mean, you know, Bobby Lashley has Leo Rush. Leo Rush, he has a great promo, you know. I enjoy his promo work, so it's going to be a great pairing. And then, like, after he turns heel, because Chicago just booed him, they didn't want to have it. He's backstage, and, you know, Bayley and Balor, Leo Rush was saying how something something. It's going to be too sweet. So it's going to be interesting to see. It really is.
Yeah, I don't think he could have kept Leo Rush as a babyface for much longer.
No, absolutely not. He had a great showing on 205 Live too. You should check that out.
So, are they going to do the Abraham Washington gimmick where he talks throughout the entire show? And how long did it take for him to mess it up?
I mean, he was in some hot water with that Oscar tweet, like a year ago or whatever. So I think they've forgiven him, and I don't know. It's gonna be.
As long as he doesn't make a rape joke, he should be fine.
It's gonna be interesting to see. All right, Ember Moon defeats Nia Jax. She defeats the former Raw Women's Champion.
This match came out of nowhere. It was awkward between two baby faces, and the smaller baby face ends up winning, and then the bigger baby face raises her hand because we're all friends and women love each other.
Yes, we shall see. All right, so moving on from that, Renee Young's return streak for Superstars continues while she's on commentary. Trish Stratus, she comes out to cut a promo, and Alexa Bliss comes out with Mickie James, and they're going back and forth, hyping up their match for Evolution. And then they were like, "What if we make it a tag team match?" Because Mickey's supposed to be facing Lita. Lita makes her return, so she comes down. Then they start brawling. Lita goes for the moonsault. Thoughts on this segment?
Trish is not the best promo in the world.
No, she's not.
I felt like, especially when she's going up against Alexa Bliss, where a lot of people like Alexa Bliss. So if you're going to run a heel down, it has to be someone like we don't like. So I felt like she was kind of losing the crowd with her promo ability. And, I mean, apparently, this was supposed to be a tag team match the entire time. So you overtly, lied to your ticket buying people saying you need to get these two sort of dream singles matches. And then you just combine them in the end, knowing damn well that was just going to happen to begin with.
Wow.
And the whole Lita coming out was so dumb. She was like, oh, I wonder who my tag team partner could be. And Lita just happens to be right at Gorilla waiting for her cue to come save the day. Why didn't they just... It's just such simple stuff. We can go over this with the Rusev Aiden English thing. I mean, that's not a simple fix. That thing was atrocious. But with this, you can have something to where you establish that, Lita was backstage, or just she says something like, "Oh, I saw someone backstage earlier today that I think would be a great tag team partner," and she calls Lita out or something or another, just something simple like that. But I guess that's too much to ask for WWE writing to make sense.
Yes, it is. It's always too much. God damn it, WWE, you rich bastards. All right, moving on from that. What was that?
That's a phone ringing on my other phone. Once again, I don't know how to mute this on Skype without ending it, and I don't really want to push a button, and then this whole thing just goes to hell.
Yes, we provide you with all the sounds, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Ronda Rousey and the belt. Oh my goodness.
Okay, it's done.
Ronda Rousey and the Bellas, they have a rematch from the Super Showdown with the Riot Squad. They win, and the Bella Twins, we just talked about this. They turned heel. Ronda, she was getting in some good offense on Brie and Nikki, but then the numbers game plays up, and she gets beaten down by the Bellas.
I mean, we've been waiting for this turn for a while. It finally came, and I think it's kind of awkward for Dana Bryan to be married to this woman, and are they gonna ever bring it up? I kind of wish they don't, because it's just kind of unnecessary and other stuff like that. But why does Nikki get the match and not Brie Bella? Why don't you just make it a handicap match and Ronda just squashes both of them?
A handicap match for the women's title, really? I mean, they just did that with the WWE title, so what do I know? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Ronda faces Brie next week on Raw.
Who knows?
Yes. All right, Kurt Angle, he's going to Crown Jewel. He's going to be in the World Cup. So yeah, there was a battle royal on Raw for an entry spot in the World Cup, and Baron Corbin, the current acting Raw general manager, put himself in there. So everything was going on, and then it was left to a conquistador. I believe that's how you say that. And Baron Corbin. And, this guy just started doing German suplexes, and he did an angle slam, then he threw Corbin out, takes off the mask. It's Kurt Angle. It's the Olympic gold medalist. I can say he looked better in ring right there than he has since he's been back in the ring for WWE.
Well, I mean, he just kind of did the greatest hits. He wasn't exactly in there for
No, but
a 20-minute. He wasn't out there with Triple H and Undertaker doing a 30-minute walking brawl.
I mean, I'm saying it looked better than what it has been. That's what I'm getting at.
I did really like this angle, pun intended.
Haha.
But I thought it worked really nice. I mean, I looked at the Conquistador and I was like, huh, I wonder who's under that, and just kind of forgot about it and just kind of skipped through, thinking that maybe one of the, I mean, like the Luchador got like a really big pop. So like, oh, maybe the Luchador will like eliminate Corbin and he'll have to like restart the match and he squashes him or something like that. But no, the Conquistador came out, and when he starts doing the angle spots, I thought the crowd started to catch on, and then the big reveal. I think it was a good angle.
Yeah, it was nice. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. And then Kurt Angle, he has the backstage interview. I think it was with Charlie Caruso when she was asking him questions, or a question like, "What does this mean?" And he was like, "I'm still on vacation." I don't know why, but I chuckled at that. I was like, aha. So I thought that was interesting. All right, moving on from that, Paul Heyman, Paul E. Dangerously, returns to Monday Night Raw, hyping up Brock Lesnar's return for Crown Jewel in the triple threat with current champion Roman Reigns and the Monster Among Men Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship.
Decent promo from Paul, just kind of forwarding the storyline, and like ever since Brock Lesnar's been the guy who is going to go to UFC and doesn't care about WWE, just here for a paycheck. I feel like maybe Paul's work hasn't been as great as it was back when he was the Conqueror and the guy who broke the streak.
Yeah, I see your point. It was a fine promo, It was Chicago, so I guess they were the crowd made it better than what it actually was, because that's just what Chicago does. I got some Crown Jewel news real quick. So I'm reading here from Ringside News, and it's saying WWE it's saying they're working on a backup plan if they have to cancel the event to move everything to Survivor Series.
Well, I mean, I think you have to do that. You have to, especially with the situation you're in right now with senators and Vice President Pence going and saying, like, that we shouldn't have relations with Saudi Arabia. I mean, Donald Trump said something like, "Oh, we get so much money from them that they provide so many U.S. jobs that it was so stupid." But that's our president for us.
Yeah.
About,
yes.
They provide us with so much money. Who cares if they kill somebody? But selfishly, as someone who's going to Survivor Series, I wouldn't mind them putting on Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles for the first time, and I wish the Shawn Michaels match would have been something better than this, but whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. All right. Well, speaking of Shawn Michaels, so DX, the band is getting back together. They have the promo on Raw. Shawn says it's time to come out, dust off the old boots and just lace them back up. Thoughts on it?
Overall, I thought it was okay. I didn't feel like the crowd was behind it as much as maybe they thought they were going to. I felt like I kind of talked about it last week where I thought the storyline was going to lead to, like, maybe The Undertaker has to, like, bait Shawn Michaels out of retirement. But no, it was just, I felt like it was kind of anticlimactic. Just Shawn was like, yeah. The whole thing was built on respect, and now I'm coming back out of retirement. I feel like the delivery or the promo itself it didn't like crescendo like it should have been. Like the whole crescendo, I felt like shouldn't have been DX is getting back together. It should have been Shawn Michaels is coming back out of retirement.
Yeah, I said it a few weeks ago. The whole career of Shawn Michaels, 1984 to 2010. don't ruin that amazing story and the magic he and Taker made in those two WrestleMania matches. But they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do, and then they're gonna have this match. And if Shawn decides to have a singles match with like an AJ Styles and it's amazing, I'm gonna forget all about it. So we'll see. A lot of people have been making a big deal about the whole Shawn Michaels bald thing, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I know it's just hair, but it's kind of uncomfortable to watch.
I mean, I don't want to make too big of a deal about it, but I mean, people get bald. I'm probably going to be bald within the next 20 years, so I'm going to have to come to terms with that.
Hey, you're gonna have a nice head of hair in 20 years, my guy.
You don't know my family.
Oh my! I'm sorry. I apologize.
But I mean, it will be shocking. I feel like he's probably gonna wrestle with the bandana on, so it's gonna maybe take away a little bit. But just like the Lashley headband, probably just gonna fall off after like 5 minutes, and it's gonna be weird. And we're gonna think Stone Cold's in the ring and not Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, maybe get one of those hair replacement things, or let some of it grow out, or something.
I don't think Bosley works in like 2 weeks.
I don't either, man.
Maybe you should take some of those like Him gummies or whatever Snoop Dogg's promoting.
We should. All right, so the dogs of I can't do it. I'm sorry. Braun Strowman, not Dean Ambrose, Jesus. Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. They defeat the Shield, and then there's.
Where was this on Super Showdown? Maybe I would be champion.
I don't know, man. This match was better than the Super Showdown match. Like this was really good. I loved it. Roman taking to the sky, doing the Uso crazy dive or the air Uso, whatever they call that. It was really good, man. I loved it, man. I loved everything about it. And then of course some more like Dean will he won't he turn. And like if Dean Ambrose turns heel, it's not going to be as enjoyable because we're all going to suspect it. They gotta Roman, like, let it happen. Roman's tired of the BS. He's tired of Dean's, attitude. So just do it that way.
I feel like they're running this storyline into the ground. I mean, how many times have we seen this match or some incarnation with one or two of these guys together wrestling? And if it's true that we're getting these advertisements for TLC that it's going to be this match, probably the TLC match, they're going to stretch this out for another 2 months. So I think they need to break away from this. Hopefully, once it comes to Survivor Series, and we have the Crown Jewel Triple Threat, so it's not going to be just them, all 6 guys facing each other. But I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't even watch the match because it was I knew it was another 6-man match. I've seen the match a bunch of times. I know what's going to happen. It's going to, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the match, like, if you want to go back and watch it, I'm not
going to watch it, I'll be honest.
Wow.
This was the exact finish that I thought they were going to do at Super Showdown, and yet they did it on Raw, which I guess more people, watched it, so maybe that's why they did it, thinking that Drew McIntyre is going to get the victory to set up something with the big dog.
You barked better last week. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I think my dog barked better this week.
Obviously. Alright, let's get into Smackdown Live. The land of opportunity. So, we have Rusev and Aiden English brawl. This was very interesting.
Yes, it was.
So, what did you think of it?
I think this whole Rusev Aiden English storyline might be the worst written storyline I've ever seen in wrestling, definitely this year. Because let's just run it all the way back. Aiden English is the one who costed Rusev whatever the United States Championship. He attacks him. So Aiden English is the reason why these two broke up. But then Aiden English wants to get back together. So the way he's going to get back together is to show that he cheated, that his wife cheated with him. So Rusev is going to go team up with his friend who slept with his wife, and then Aiden English clearly had a tape that showed that they didn't do anything, but yet Rusev is fuming backstage and selling it and doing all these things for a whole week, and then Aiden English gets hacked, which may be the best thing to say, especially what's happened with SmackDown's general manager in the past year or two.
Hey-o! Keep going.
And then they show this, and it was just, this storyline made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I mean, one night in Milwaukee, I thought they were going to have something nice with it, but, let's just move on from it. So, Randy Orton goes one-on-one with the Big Show. We haven't seen Big Show since that steel cage match with Braun Strowman on Raw last year. And this was pretty interesting. Big Show competed on the first episode of Smackdown in 1999, and he was on Smackdown at 999. So that was pretty cool. Yes, well, Randy, he brought back the RKO to defeat the Giant to advance in the crown jewel in the WWE World Cup.
Good for them. I mean, good for Randy Orton. It was just kind of a standard Big Show match. You probably could have seen the same match in 2008.
Wow. All right, well, there's a match you couldn't see in 2008. Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe. So, yeah.
Was Jeff Hardy in TNA then?
No, he was not.
Okay, because I am terrible with that time frame. Because as we all know, that's when I was not watching wrestling. So
yeah.
I don't know.
So they have this match for Crown Jewel, and Joe he's injured, his knee's injured, can't continue the match. So Jeff Hardy automatically advances.
I mean, it was a different finish. I kind of appreciate it. I wish they did maybe more kind of referee stoppages or, I don't know, just kind of switch things up because I like it.
You likes it?
I don't know if I say I like it. I mean, sometimes it might be like a cheap finish, but...
I mean, I thought Jeff Hardy was going to be gone for quite some time since, he fell face first through a table and all that ear stuff at Hell in the Cell, but he was gone for like 3 weeks. Yeah, so I don't know.
Gotta get that sweet Saudi
money. All right. And so SmackDown kicks off with some hot fire. We have Becky Lynch defending that SmackDown Women's Championship going up against Charlotte. And it was great. I loved everything about it. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a 20-minute match or something. It was really good, and then it just gets another boo-boo finish where it's a double count-out, which leads to the Evolution match, where it's the last woman standing, and the spot where the old Chris Jericho Rhino spot.
Yes.
But, and Charlotte apparently getting her arm cut open. I haven't seen any follow-up on that, so I haven't seen any pictures. Have you seen anything about how bad her arm looked?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything about it.
But, I mean, it was fine. It was a good match between the two. And I'm not the biggest fan of last man standing matches just because I feel like it kind of ruins the pace. We saw it with the Shinsuke AJ match where I think they did pretty good, but I think just having a straight up one-on-one match definitely suits better, or not maybe suits better, but it's a better match in the long term, or whatever the hell I'm saying. We've gone on too long.
Yeah, I mean, so they're going to have a last woman standing match at Evolution. Paige said it was the first time ever, but that's obviously not the case. Asuka and Nikki Cross in NXT. I mean, I'm excited for it. I loved everything about it. I can't wait to see this. Let Becky, let her get the clean win over Charlotte and move on to somebody else. All right, and Miz TV. So we got to talk about this. Miz has on the WWE Champion AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. And Daniel and AJ, they're just picking at the Miz, But Miz, he cuts a nice promo, saying how, you had to cheat to beat me, Daniel. And then AJ, the WWE Championship hasn't main evented since you've been champion. And he said he doesn't care who wins, I got next. So I really enjoyed that.
I think it just shows that WWE doesn't have a lot of faith in Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles to carry a segment, so they have Miz talk. And I feel like both of them, or AJ and Daniel, can carry a segment to go back and forth as being two gentlemen and wanting to have a fair fight. But that's just not how WWE operates. And I'm pretty sure this is going to something's going to happen at Crown Jewel or wherever this match is going to take place to where it leads to a triple threat with Miz involved.
Yeah, and then Miz, walks away with the WWE Championship.
And your whole Miz Daniel Bryan storyline can still happen.
Hey, yeah, I mean, you predicted Lesnar and Roman. I'm predicting Miz and Daniel. So we'll see. We shall see.
Whoa! What do you mean?
What do you mean? You predicted Lesnar and Roman for like a year out, going into.
I was about to say I ain't predicting Roman and Lesnar to happen next year. God, I do not want that again.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Let it be in Saudi Arabia. Get some sweet Saudi money for WrestleMania. I'm joking, ladies and gentlemen. I'm clearly joking. All right, so Superstar Spotlight. Who do we got? Oh yeah, by the way, AJ Styles defeated Shelton Benjamin.
Good.
Wow. So
I kind of want to go like off the beaten path to try to pick someone not in WWE, but I don't know. Who do you have?
I got Becky and Charlotte for the fire match on Tuesday.
Okay, I guess. Hey, God, stupid dog. Just put him down.
Whoa, hey.
He's like 20 years old. He's had a good life.
He's had a nice run.
Yeah, it's time to put someone over on him.
Do it, man.
I mean, I don't know exactly. I guess we'll go with. There's just so many people that I could pick. Why not Chris Jericho? Why not? He came back and hopefully he does something with Evil. Hopefully they have a good match.
All right, let's make it happen. All right, let's talk about the promo pick of the week. Brandon, he took us way back in time. Let's hear it.
Yes, we went way back in time, all the way to 1979. Pat Patterson's first interview as the Intercontinental Champion. He has the Grand Wizard as his manager. And we all know Pat Patterson as this lovable old gay man. But back in the day, he was a dastardly heel. And people hated him. And it was just, for people who've maybe never seen any of Pat Patterson's work, this definitely is not the best of his work. His best work is over here in San Francisco in the late 60s and the 70s. But it was a nice glimpse of maybe something that you've never seen before. But another promo that I'd like to recommend, since we haven't talked about Bound for Glory at all, TNA's or Impact Wrestling's biggest pay-per-view of the year is coming up, and they have Austin Aries going up against Johnny Impact, and apparently they have been in a war of words with each other. Apparently there was this big old promo they had a couple weeks ago where Aiden English, Austin Aries, did like some big old shoot promo all over Johnny Impact, so
really
check that out.
I mean, as far as Bound for Glory goes, if it was 2012, I'd care, but I'm not there,
Yet.
Yeah, but the Pat Patterson promo, I really enjoyed it. He, talked about how he beat 15 other guys who are the best in the world to become the Intercontinental Champion. How he doesn't care who the world champion is. How he's the best wrestler in the world and all that stuff. Really fiery, really great. I enjoyed it. All right, now something I didn't really enjoy. I thought I would. It's my match pick of the week. It is from ECW Hardcore Heaven 1997. Shane Douglas, the first ever ECW champion, goes up against Sabu, who is the current reigning champion in this match, along with Terry Funk for the ECW World title. Sabu gets eliminated, so it's just Funk and Douglas going at it. Dory Funk runs in. All this stuff happens. A referee goes through a table. And at the end of the day, Shane Douglas walks away with the ECW World title. This match wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I was really disappointed, I'm not going to lie.
So why did you pick it in the first place? Did you hear good things about it?
I mean, I was watching a video about rare matches who don't really get recognition for something, or I don't know. I saw like Shane Douglas. It wasn't this match. It was something else, and I was like, oh yeah, he was in ECW. Let me look up some of his matches, and then I saw this one. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. I'll see. I'm not gonna lie. I picked it before I even watched it. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I watched it this morning. It's not the best triple threat match in the world. It's one of the first. Well, maybe not one of the first, but ECW is definitely kind of the reason why triple threat matches became mainstream in wrestling. And I feel like triple threat matches shouldn't happen that much anymore. But
what are you gonna do?
I mean, yeah, as you said, the match itself wasn't all that great, and then you cut that. There's all these shenanigans at the end of the show, and one thing about watching ECW on the WWE Network is just the dubs over the music, where ECW used real music, and now you get like this phony WWE Network crap. Like,
Yeah.
The gangsters came out, and they're supposed to, be killing everybody to Dr. Dre, and yet it's like some generic rap tune.
Yes, something awful like a video game. Yeah, I should have picked like Barely Legal, like Bam Bam Bigelow and Taz. That's a really good one. I don't know. But anyway, next week, Brandon has match pick of the week. I have promo pick of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, please follow us on Twitter at BulletCast, Instagram The BulletCast, YouTube channel The BulletCast. Please email us BulletCast2 as in the number 2, sweet SWEET at gmail.com. We're on 99.9 FM KDub in Watsonville every Friday night from, I believe it's 10 to 11, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play. Go listen to Brandon's other podcasts, Curveballs and Chair Shots. Go listen to Under the Radar, under the BulletCast umbrella. I just changed the name of my other podcast. It's now called Big Dog Conversations. We have real-life conversations. We have pop culture conversations. Anything you want. Brandon, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Next week, we will be back in the studio. The championship is going to be on the line for Evolution when that rolls around in a couple weeks. I'll see you next week, buddy.
See you. And next week, I'm going to be doing ECW.
Okay, all right.
I'm doing ECW pick, and it'll actually be a good match.
Wow. Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been BulletCast. We will see you next time.
This has been the BulletCast. Thank you for listening.